Hi and welcome to Redeye and to this interview with Freemelt. With me today I have Darin Everett, the President of Freemelt Americas, and Victor Valk, Freemelt's Regional President for EMEA. Welcome, Darin and Victor.
Thank you. Thank you, Anton.
So, you're here to provide some insights on the recently received orders and the long-term strategic plans for the company. And to start off, Darin, you joined Freemelt in 2023. Could you please give us some background on yourself and why you joined Freemelt?
Sure. I joined in July, actually, so I was here the last 6 months, and prior was with another additive manufacturer, OEM, for almost 20 years. And we were also in the same space of solving critical applications in tooling and production. And making the critical components is what Freemelt does, and that's what's of interest to me in this industry. And we have a lot of experience doing it, so I wanted to bring that experience here to Freemelt. My teammates today have also brought the same experience here from these critical applications, and they've been involved in startup operations. So it's a highly experienced team now. Freemelt has the right technology, I said, to solve the critical applications. And what was key is to find the teammates and the system that we need in the US to solve those problems and create revenue. I'm lucky to work in a culture like Freemelt that gives the employees the opportunity to expand and grow and also that's focused on customers and collaboration and solving challenges. So it's a great spot to be. It's been a lot of work, but very rewarding. Thank you.
Yeah, and maybe if you can give us some insights into the development of Freemelt Americas since you started and its current focus.
Oh, absolutely. We changed a lot. It's been an exciting ride. And so since the second half, we built an entire team around the process. We started to build a team. Our first focus was customer service. We have existing customers in the US who are at universities doing research, and these customers at universities are critical to our foundation in the United States to sell eMelt as well into industry and government. So that was the first focus. Then we created and implemented sales plans to focus on the eMelt into industry and government, as well as the Freemelt One. We built an inside sales team at corporate to support these operations, and activity and awareness grew amazingly. It was a fun ride. And what we're doing now for the first time, and have been since July, we're attending industrial marketing events, trade shows, events, exhibits, conferences, doing presentations, and we're fully involved in the community, and we're no longer a secret brand. We are well known in the industry now.
Yeah, and maybe if you can give some details on your recent orders that you have received in the US and elaborate on their significance to the overall growth and the company's 2030 strategy.
Absolutely. These orders represent part of our growth plan and our strategy. Believe it or not, at first, we envisioned the eMelt ID to first sell at our large university customers. And that was the first order that we received here in April, was for the first eMelt ID in Americas. And it's going to a prominent university in Midwest United States, and soon to be announced. And they're very excited. And they're right in the middle of the research and development that we're involved in too. Just like the other order was from the third university in Texas, who is now a customer, and they're doing heavy research into refractory metals, just like the Midwest customer, to solve important applications for the government and industry, which are the same ones that we're chasing. So we're all partners and collaborators in this. It's a fun time. And since 2024, the progress has ramped up extensively. But these university customers, like I said, are the foundation of our business in Americas, because they also work with government and industry on the same applications.
Well, it seems that your hard work in the US is paying off. That's great. And Victor, you joined Freemelt on February 1st as part of the new regional structure. Could you provide an overview of your background and your expectations of Freemelt?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I started fairly recently with Freemelt. Prior to this, I've been over 10 years with Sandvik Mining and rock technology, where I've had a variety of roles, predominantly in the aftermarket. And my last role, I founded a corporate startup called Velrock, where I was responsible for shaping the value proposition, the overall strategy, and building the team and the operation around it. So I've been doing that for the last couple of years at Sandvik prior to joining Freemelt. And I would like to take that experience of establishing a new company to Freemelt and establishing the new region here as well. And also, I take the understanding of a large industrial company to Freemelt. So I understand what our customers or future customers would want in the industry as well. So over the coming time, I would like to continually validate our value proposition and continue in accelerating the growth within Freemelt. And I will have a large focus as well on the aftermarket because I understand how important that is to make sure that our industrial customers will become productive and have the productivity that they require.
Let's take a discussion of your customers. I mean, can you give a brief comment on the maturity and status of your different customer segments in the EMEA region?
Yes, so I can tell you there's a big variety of the maturity of the different customers we work with. So you have some early adopters and you have customers who are still exploring what they can do with additive manufacturing. And we have a variety of customer segments as well. And some of them are already using additive manufacturing in their production, and some of them are only exploring it. So we're working with medtech, energy, aerospace, defense, and they all have different needs and therefore have a different maturity in the roadmap towards additive manufacturing. So what we see is that we have the highest adoption of our machines in research and development. So a lot of prestigious universities in Europe have a Freemelt one. But we are also starting to see now that some industrial players are starting with feasibility studies as well and exploring the opportunities with our machinery. So our focus on the short term is to focus more with these industrial players to identify key applications and to understand the requirements that they need to co-develop these applications with the materials we work with.
And I mean, in addition to the US orders you have received, you have also got some orders in the EMEA region, where the order from Saab is of extra interest. Could you please comment on these orders and elaborate on how they are milestones in Freemelt's commercialization strategy?
Yeah, so we have recently had 2 orders for feasibility studies in Europe. One of them being with Saab, which is a significant milestone for Freemelt, highlighting the growing interest of different industries in a changing geopolitical landscape as well. So we see that there's a need for local manufacturing of these critical components, specifically targeting complex materials, for instance, now in the defense industry with Saab. And I think this really underscores the need of the technology that we're bringing with Freemelt. And we're also very excited to jump on board of this journey together with Saab and make sure that we get a fruitful partnership overall. And in addition to this, we just recently also got an order for a second feasibility study from the UK Atomic Energy Agency, which I think is also really exciting because it's a second order of a feasibility study. Last year, we have worked with them quite extensively already on the first feasibility study for fusion energy, which is quite a demanding application, as you can imagine. And after a successful first feasibility study, we're now started with the second feasibility study. And I think what is great is that these feasibility studies are the first step towards mass production. So that in particular is really exciting around these ones. And I think overall, this shows what the technology can bring towards these end customers.
And which applications or segments do you think will enter the production phase first?
Good question. So we're of course working now on a couple of applications in different industries. So you can see that we're working with the UK Atomic Energy Agency on these fusion, these parts for fusion energy, but we're also heavily focusing on medtech parts and orthopedic implants. And I think both of those are on the right track towards industrial use.
Have you something to add, Darin?
No, that's exactly the same in the United States. Those are top markets and they are thriving and very, very interested in this solution. They've tried additive manufacturing for over 20 years and have had success, but they're ready to go to the next level, and they have new applications that require electron beam powder bed fusion, which is exciting.
Good. Well, thank you for taking your time. It was very interesting to gain some insights from your different regions, and I look forward to follow Freemelt going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.